Hello, good evening, and as the week comes to a close, as we get into the weekend, well, we're here to bring you updates that have been occurring across the country and from other jurisdictions. We are going to be live here on GHOne Television, GHOne TV, on various social media handles from Facebook, Twitter, and you can follow us and give us your feedback on the program that we have this evening. It's News Tonight. My name is Patrick Stevenson.
And my name is Kweku Timin. We're live on DSTV channel 361. Tonight we go the length and breadth of the country and bring you up to speed on the latest happenings. Before we bring you every bit of the details, let's take our headlines.
Now, Parliament summons local government minister over controversial decision by Birth and Death Registry to ban registration of some local names. We'll bring you some updates on this.
Also coming up tonight, as water shortage looms in Accra and other parts of the country, Washington Bay owners and farmers are rejecting the Ghana Water Company's measures of using buckets of water instead of hoses to avert the crisis.
Cauliflower, lettuce, it won't be free. They say two smooth there, but miss got an Indian for between the age.
Again in the program this evening, residents of Kumasi appear to have fallen in love with a new means of transport. Tricycle, popularly known as Adedita. We will bring you some updates on this and how they're using that effectively in Kumasi.
If you see the way the people just, the passengers just wait, it's very simple. If anything comes, you can easily, run. If there is no seatbelt, you will not get any problem.
Well, touched by an angel, 17-year-old Adiza Adamu, who suffers from neurofibromatosis, receives 15,000 Ghana cedis from team from GHOne TV's magazine show revealed with Bolare to aid in her surgery.
And finally, in business, the Deputy Finance Minister charges Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to simplify the movement of goods within West Africa. We have these and many other stories in the bulletin. Do stay with us. You're welcome once again to the program for the evening. We go straight to the top stories that we have at this time of the hour. Now, the Ghana Water Company Limited suggestion to Washington Bay operators and farmers to use buckets of water instead of hoses as a means to check the looming water shortage in Accra and other parts of the country appears to have been rejected. Now, they are rather charging the water company to find better solutions to the problem. Ali Saite has more in the following report.
Due to the onset of the dry season, the Ghana Water Company Limited has announced it is experiencing some challenges with water supply in Accra and most parts of the country. The situation, according to the water company, has led to intermittent water supply in most cities and towns in the country, particularly in the national capital, Accra. This led the GWCL to caution consumers to cease indiscriminate watering of lawns with treated water, be moderate in the use of treated water for car washing by using buckets instead of hosing, shut all taps when not in use, repair all leakages in homes, and also report all burst pipes and leakages immediately to the nearest GWCL district offices. This message from the water company seems not to have gone down well with operators or owners of car washing bays who use hoses and other equipment to draw water in cleaning dirty cars. They argue that using buckets would rather not help in ceasing indiscriminate use of water, since the hoses only draw a small quantity needed to clean a car.
The machine that we use, we actually use less water than when you say we are going to use buckets, because it's the pressure that we use, the pressure coming from the machine, that's what we need that much to wash the car. So I don't think it will be possible in the first place. A bucket of water is a lot of water. I don't think we use more than 2 buckets in washing a saloon car. Yeah, because of the pressure that we use. You get me? Yeah. So it's just pressure.
The operators of the washing bays also noted that most of them have drilled boreholes that they use in their business. Hence, the water company should get an innovative way of conserving.
I also don't use pipe water. I have borehole. We drilled borehole. So if possibly they can go on that line, maybe advise car washers to start drilling boreholes and all that. I think that would be very good.
For vegetable farmers who mostly use treated water for irrigation, they are peeved by the Ghana Water Company's directive, saying if water supply is cut, they will be forced to use unwholesome water to irrigate their crops and vegetables.
Cabbage na ego cauliflower, lettuce, will be brave. They say tun sumu de ba miss got an de nkofo between the ejuma. They say yansu ejuma ya ensu ye dibi yema ye yeri no edibi. Eni emba ye tua school fees wom ye tua makaranta fees ni na wom. Enti ba miss na say tun sumu de e be so got na. Yentumi ka say ensu ni won enti farmers ni na obi judge mana ko tenefi. Ukotenefi a wondi de. So Ghanaians be obia be so I use so there. And so a pan say Ebeka say in so I short on intino.
Management of the Water Company Limited has, however, noted that it is doing its utmost best to solve the water challenge. Water shortages have been recorded in various parts of the country in recent times, but not much have been experienced for a longer period in Accra. Alice Aite, GHOne News.
Well, in other stories, it will surely be frustrating. It will surely be frustrating if you try to communicate and nobody gets what you are putting across. Well, such is the bane of many a deaf person. However, despite the obvious communication barrier, there are few hearing impaired people breaking the barriers and entering fields that were initially a no-go area for the people with disabilities. Well, with diligence and hard work, some 15 young deaf employed persons at a washing bay in Tantra Hill in Accra are turning the bay's fortunes around by beautifully cleaning customers' cars, irrespective of their condition. Alice Aite again with a report.
Stephen Asiadu is a 27-year-old hearing impaired man whose dream was to become a car sprayer after completing the Mampon School for the Deaf in the Eastern region. The young man, who struggles to speak but is able to voice out a few words, however, landed in the Beneflex washing bay at Tantra Hill in Accra. Attending to customers and beautifully cleaning their dirty cars. Stephen is not the only hearing impaired person in this bay. There are about 14 more who have managed to beautifully clean cars despite the obvious communication barrier. With diligence, they focus on the particular cars they have been entrusted with, ensuring they are spotlessly clean. Just like many Ghanaians communicate with the deaf without any knowledge of the proper sign language, customers communicate with them using signs that on some level communicate what they want to say. Although there may be a few challenges, it appears they are few and not an impediment to the work that is done at the washing bay.
Boot no preno the obey be an omno back crowd mon with me or who are not to the work but we could do a chance when you be out to be amount. The hands out on Sabbath channel at Diana or Peso Yamount. We're not watching this around that. We move particularly move for no or we and Crophobia on Fahon scour the man. No, but to cut the ocean base Vienna, Omu demand and I know too much, but to him so no money needs Momuse or your money needs amount.
There's no difference. These guys respect a lot. Even the ones they can speak that doesn't respect. You know, sometimes when you give them tips, they don't appreciate. But these guys, whatever you give to them, they take it and they will appreciate. You know, the way they will act, the way they will do. You know, you can feel they are very excited.
For the owner of the facility, working with only hearing impaired cleaners at her washing bay has been a blessing.
When I started my business, it wasn't in my plan to work with people with disability, you know. But I was having challenges with the able guys. So a customer came in and asked if I would like to work with somebody who couldn't hear. And I said, yes, only if the person has passion for my business and also has the same values as me, like to reach my goals. We'll work with each other.
According to her, she has never had any challenge ever since she decided to work with them, unlike she had with previous able-bodied cleaners.
They understand me perfectly, no matter what sign I do. They understand me. They know what I want, so we don't have communication problems. If we get really tough, we just use pen and paper, and they are all educated. At least they've been to SSS, so they can read and write. I would rather advise the society to respect them. Their only fear about we the able guys is that we don't respect them, so they feel neglected. That's why some people believe they are very violent. They are not. When you give them their rightful place in life, you get to enjoy them better.
Possibly, the saying that disability is not inability can vividly be confirmed by the handiwork of these hard of hearing persons who took our dirty car through some fine cleaning before we left their premises. Without telling them where to clean, our office saloon car came back to life with a fresh body. Alice Ayite, GHOne News.
Now that's a very interesting development, but here's one that is even more exciting. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt, in some cases, with a heart. Now, a visually impaired student, Farid Gombila, is taking poetry to the next level and is appealing to corporate organizations to come to the aid of persons with disabilities who are carving a niche for themselves. Our reporter, Patience Atipoka Etua, has more on the following report.
Do You Love Me by G. Farid. I have journeyed all over the world.
For our specially made creatures, our abilities are indeed unique to our person. Persons with disabilities over the years have had to go to all lengths in a bid to get employment. A disturbing situation which forces some to resort to begging on the streets or rely heavily on the benevolence of friends and family. 22-year-old level 400 student of the University of Ghana has taken up poetry, an interest which he says picked from his love in reading novels in his literature class in senior high school. Farid was born blind, but believes one's ability is not by the possession of sight, but the measure of one's ability.
I have journeyed all over the world in search of an answer. I've even searched from heart to heart, yet unable to decipher true love from true pretense. I am caught in a web of a powerful emotion.
Farid developed the interest in recording and listening to his own voice on a recorder his father bought him, which was meant for learning purposes. He started with rap music and singing into the device, but gradually grew out of it and took to poetry instead. Reading government in addition to literature in senior high school, he started writing pieces on politics, patriotism and social issues. This he showed to friends and family and was motivated to develop the interest in writing his own poetry, to which he has been doing for 4 years now. Although he was writing poetry in senior high, he paid devoted attention to it after completing school. For his ability to use the computer, he put himself through a computer school at the Ghana Blind Union, and he does most of his writing on his laptop with the aid of a talkback application installed on it.
Done with SS, I was just home with nothing to do. I said, well, let me give it a try. Let me just try my hands at something. Let me write a few poems and see how it comes out. So I wrote it and posted it, took it around, showed it to people, and people said it was good. And I said, wow. So I had this, and I had this talent in me, and I was just keeping it. So for me, that's how it all started.
His love for the works of other poets may have stirred an interest in this area, but he aspires not to be like anyone, as it is his aspiration to also adapt to the literature world and have his works equally inculcated in the educational curricula and be an inspiration to young people.
As I was studying poetry in school, reading other people's works, I wondered, can't I also do something like this for people to also come and read, come and analyze, and have write essays on like the way we were made to do in school? So I was wondering, what can't I also put something together that people would also reference on when you are talking about important national issues or important social issues? And so for me, that is one of my goals looking up to the future.
Farid has performed at various organized events, including the famous Sobolo and Chicken Poetry Show. He shares with me how the audience are usually thrilled and amazed at seeing a visually impaired person show great talent in poetry. He is, however, worried about the reluctance in helping persons with disabilities, such as himself, who are trying to showcase their God-given talents.
People tend to see us persons with disability as somewhat limited in our abilities. So the fact that I cannot see, they think that maybe my brain capacity in terms of doing things that require brain power or other things is limited.
Hold on tight to the love of your life and never, ever let go.
Anything you find yourself doing, do it with all your might and your ability. Farid is really making strides in his chosen field. We'll move straight to the Ashanti region, where residents of Kumasi have found a new means of beating long hours of waiting to board commercial vehicles, popularly called trotro, at the lorry stations. Well, there is a growing preference of a special tricycle known as Adedita, which does not wait to get full before commuting a passenger to a destination. Ultimate FM's Patricia Bonsu has more on this report.
Imagine being in a hurry to get to your workplace, hospital or school, and worse off, having to join a long queue at the trotro station and wasting long hours before it gets full in order to begin your trip. Well, it's a situation many of us can relate to. Now, residents of Kumasi have found an escape to this dodgery. The auto taxi passenger tricycles, popularly known as Praja or Mahama Kambu, originally from India, has become a household name for transportation, especially in areas like Racecourse, Dr. Mensa, Abuabu, Aswasi, Soaba, Sepe, Buaban, and Asokore Mampong in the Ashanti region. Unlike commercial vehicles like Trotro, which passengers have to wait long hours for it to be full at the station before takeoff, the Mahama Kambu moves if one person is on board. This makes it more convenient for passengers who are in a hurry to reach their destinations. Riders say they make over 100 Ghana cedis daily if they embark on trips from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., charging passengers a fee of 1 Ghana cedi. Station officer Mubayaz Mohammed tells us more about this new form of transportation in Kumasi.
We are operating in the Asokore Mompo municipal. Normally, we've been going to these places, Sawaba and Ababo. At times, they would travel to Spare, Asebe, Mampong, and then plus, Bobai up to Achiase and other, areas. And then wherever too you want to charter them as a dolphin, they will take you wherever in this Ashanti region.
Mahama tricycles, which can be purchased at a unit price of 1,200 Ghana cedis, can run on a 30 cedis fuel consumption for a day. Some passengers have also been telling GHOne News how convenient this mode of transport is for them.
From this junction to Sepe, there's nobody charge 1 cedi 50 pesos. If you are going to guess about 50 meters, 100 meters, they will say charge you 1 cedi 50 pesos, while the other one will charge you 1 cedi. So nobody will prepare to waste money, because that money is very difficult to come by. So you cannot expect somebody to travel just about 200 or 300 meters and to charge him 1 cedi 50 pesos. While the same thing, the mileage is about 1 mile, so you are charging the same mile, 1 cedi 50 pesos. That's why people are not patronizing. So they have to do their homework.
Despite the convenience the Mahama tricycle is providing to passengers, some taxi drivers at the Sokore Mampon taxi rank are unhappy about the tricycle business. Station Master Abdul Rashid tells GHOne News that aside the tricycles breaking road transport regulations, they are kicking them out of business.
Anytime that they go on the road, they just do whatever they like. Most of them do not have other driver's licenses or rider's licenses and do not know any road signs and road regulation. They just jump into the system and then working. And most of them are getting accident and so on and so forth and killing people on the road and doesn't obey any rules and regulation on the road.
With the surge of the Mahama tricycles in Kumasi, some industry players are calling for its regulation by the Ghana Private Road Transport Union.
Now, here's how this gets interesting. There are those that they don't carry passengers. They carry, sachet waters.
And
sachet water
absolutely, I've seen this.
They're nuisance on the roads for me. I don't even know, how we are going to regulate.
I just got a name for you, Abubuya.
Abubuya. Well, clearly Kumasi is adapting to some of these strategies for navigating the traffic. We hope regulators are watching and can, provide the necessary regulatory frameworks around this, because I don't think they travel at the same speed and pace like regular cars that you have. And
absolutely.
Clearly, we should be thinking about things like road constructions so that we can make adjustments there.
For them, maybe we should think about this. But for me, it's India coming to Ghana gradually.
Anyway, well, we'll take a break here. We'll come back with more news.
Autistic children's dreams come true during Verna Mineral Water rebranding launch.
Most of the times people ignore such kids and they tag them as evil kids or they are cursed and all that, but that's not true. Putting a smile on every child's face, regardless of their condition, is a major responsibility of our society, and I am pleased to be a part of this today.
In this life, the best thing you can do is to make someone else happy, or basically make people around you happy.
Drinking and buying Verna mineral water, we help many people out there, like our beautiful sisters over here, and all the many people that Verna mineral water helps. Here we go.
Purchase a bottle of the all-new, sleek and stylish Verna natural mineral water today and support a worthy cause. Verna mineral water, changing people's lives.
Revitalize your body with Master T. Reduces stress, improves your sleep.
Do you really want to keep your job?
I try, sir, but always wake up feeling very tired.
Don't you drink Master T?
Master T.
Master T is a food supplement formulated to improve sleep, reduce stress, relax muscles, invigorate the body for good health and vitality, giving you a fresh start for the day.
We love Master T.
Now available at all pharmacies, filling station shops and shopping centers nationwide. Contact Medimosis in Accra, Kumasi, Tema, and Strazaco Master Tea, another quality product from Medimoses, not suitable for pregnant women and lactating mothers.
Master Tea invigorates the body for good health and vitality.
The Ghana Trade Fair Company, under the auspices of the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the One District One Factory Secretariat, welcomes you to the 22nd Ghana International Trade Fair under the theme Industrializing Ghana and Creating Jobs. It will be 1 week of exhibition and enterprise from February 28 to March 7, 2018, offering manufacturers, suppliers, consumers, and various service providers the opportunity to network and make sales. The Presidency urges you to support, partner, and explore the opportunities available.
For inquiries, call 0241-818-658, 0244-173-127, 055-247-4632, or visit tradefairgh.com.
The 22nd Ghana International Trade Fair, industrializing Ghana and creating jobs.
Jame, therefore, ma yaho brings you. Na fe yemu so mo kwan.
Say the therefore say no. Wada roma, manento nana say. Insu asem de mo ha na okwa ye ba no. Ye de insu ba.
Adai se waba efie a wa se yanyama mu nsuo num no wo so di nsuo bai ene sai
na na eti amra
odefo
yesre wo nsuo we eye ahemfo nsuo a ye de afa mfidie mu asone so aye ne kroje a Free Kingdom Beverages Limited, King's Drinking Water.
Bye man. Nsuo na de
Dampa
King's Drinking Water mpa ene na King's Drinking Water
ahifusio de
Precious one, I'm Bishop Charles Ajinasare. 2018 will be my 35 years in a miracle ministry. And in every nation I've been to, the power of God has been present to save, heal, and deliver. I want to specially invite you to our Miracle Festival at the Independence Square from the 30th of January 2018 to the 2nd of February, 5 p.m. each night. Beloved, bring the unsaved, bring the hurting, bring those who have problems, and the power of God will be present to save, heal, and deliver. Jesus is the same yesterday, He's the same today, He's the same forever. And so I'm specially inviting you to this Miracle Festival. Join me, your life will never be the same. Invite your friends, invite those who are sick, bring them, and God will touch them. Unyankopon de nsa be count anyami nke ba nyumbo ka ni ne ba ta ohe novio liva mauna kasimi. It's the word of God, the miracle. It's the word of God in your life.
You're welcome back to News Tonight here on GHOne Television. You can follow us on our various social media handles at GHOne TV. To some other news stories, the Parliament has summoned the local government minister Hajia Alima Mahama over the controversial decision by the Birth and Death Registry to ban the registration of some local names. Now, according to the Births and Death Registry, names such as Mame, Nana, Na, Junior, among others, are not accepted under its new policy. Now, the public has been incensed by this decision and wants the decision rescinded.
Speaking on the floor, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu, who brought the matter to the attention of the House, argued the decision is illegal. He prayed the House to summon the Registrar John Yao Agbeko and his supervising minister Hajia Alima Mahama to the House to explain the rationale behind the decision.
Mr. Speaker, I'm raising this so that this House will summon the Minister for Local Government and the management of the Birth and Death Registry to explain to this House where the source of their power is, that they can say our president Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. That is his name, accordingly.
First Deputy Speaker Joseph Osei-Wusu, who was visibly irritated by the decision, disclosed the registrar was asked to shelve the idea when it was brought before the local government committee some time back. The Bekwai MP therefore registered his displeasure about the resurrection of the matter by the registrar.
The registrar apparently attempted to bring an amendment to the act, and the Committee on Local Government at the time flatly refused to deal with that. It should not bring any controversy into our country. But I think it must be understood that the names Ni, Nana, Tope, and other things, they have relevance in our culture.
Speaker Professor Mike Okwe consequently ordered the registrar and his supervising minister to appear before the House with explanation next week Tuesday.
Parliament is considering this matter as very serious because it is an essential part of constitutionalism that there should be limitation of powers, and we don't want to be surprised by the day in terms of such directives. On Tuesday, as Parliament says, require the Honourable Minister therefore to come and justify or let Parliament know what steps have been taken to reverse this directive.
Speaking to GHOne News after proceedings, Majority Leader Oseiche Mensah Bonsu admonished the public not to be too quick in condemning the registrar until he briefs the House the brain behind the decision. The Swami MP, however, insists the decision has no place in law.
I don't know where he's deriving his authority from. I think it cannot be foundation on any law. But who knows? Maybe he has discovered some law somewhere and has gone to dust it and is bringing it. I don't think the language and tenor of any legislation would allow him to do that.
All right, so I'll wait for the registrar to come and explain why I cannot call my daughter Nanajwa Temin Asminin, but when I name her Queen or Princess, that one would be accepted. Well, we'll wait for that and we'll update you more on what Parliament comes up with. But I'll still stay in Parliament as Professor Mike Okwe is expected to be sworn in as acting president tomorrow as President Akufo-Addo leaves this weekend for the AU summit in Ethiopia, while Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia continues his sick leave in the United Kingdom. Well, according to the communication from the presidency, the president is expected to return on the 31st of this month. The speaker will be acting as president for the second time in a week.
In the speaker, whenever the president and his vice are outside on official duties, is alien to the constitution, according to the minority. Speaking to GHOne News, minority spokesperson on parliamentary, constitutional and legal affairs, Inusa Fuseni, disclosed his side is ready to head to court to stop what he terms as an illegality.
I think that we have engaged in some constitutional illegality and unconstitutionality all this while by reading into Article 60(11) the word absent, which clearly is not part of that provision. But the minority is prepared to take the matter up. Yes, for a definite pronouncement, because there's no alternate president in this country. The president presently, if he leaves tomorrow, will be performing extraterritorial duties, and he will be entitled to the privileges and rights of a president of the Republic of Ghana.
Chairman for the Constitutional, Legal Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs, Ben Abdallah, tells GHOne News the Supreme Court must review its earlier decision requiring the Speaker to be sworn in whenever the President and his vice are out of the country, given the accompanying inconveniences.
The Supreme Court ought to be afforded the opportunity to have a second look at the provision. It's so tiring, so inconveniencing, so disorganizing, because tomorrow we have programs. We had programs to attend, a lot of programs to attend. But because of this directive, we have to truncate our travels or truncate the programs, or maybe abandon the programs and attend the swearing in of the Speaker, which is also equally important.
But the majority leader, Oseiche Mensah Bonsu, says MPs will have grappled with the phenomenon for a while longer. According to the Swami MP, the ambiguity in the constitution cannot be simply undone by Parliament given the entrenched nature of the provisions.
It is an inconvenience, but unfortunately for us, I think Article 60, the whole of the clause on the executive, is entrenched. You know, so you cannot change it by Parliament just changing it here. You cannot. That's the difficulty that we have.
Meanwhile, the MP for Asen North, John Intim Fodjo, says his colleagues should seize the debate and show up to perform their constitutional duties.
As a member of Parliament, you sworn an oath to serve your nation. This is an urgent matter of national assignment, which we have to respond to, regardless of the inconvenience. If one would cite excuses of inconvenience and there are other alternative responsibilities to carry out, that to me completely not tenable. This is important. This is constitution in defense of the constitutional provision.
In a related development, Majority Leader Oseiche Mensah Bonsu has been providing some updates on the health condition of Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. According to the Swami MP, the Vice President is no longer in hospital and will return in less than a week. He explains his continuous stay in the UK is to afford him a peaceful rest.
The Vice President, really, I will tell you that is okay. It's okay, but you know, he's been asked to rest a bit. I know Ghanaians. If it should come now, so many people will be trooping to his house. Oh, and they will not be given time to rest. Which is why I think the doctors then decided that let him continue to rest a bit for at least maybe 1 more week or so before coming.
We leave Parliament now and do some healthcare and smoking. Now, despite several efforts by successive governments in the control and usage of tobacco, it remains the second largest risk factor for early death and disability globally. Many cigarette smokers continue to ignore warnings that have been boldly written on cigarette packs by the producers, causing harm to themselves and those who inhale second-hand smoke. In the following report, Isabella Baba Frimpong tells the story of a chain smoker.
20-year-old Lukman Imoro is a scrap dealer at Old Fadama in Accra. He started smoking at the age of 16. Lukman learned smoking from his peers.
Me plus my friends start smoking at the time where I start smoking, like 4 years today where I start smoking. Yes, so like the way I start smoking, I don't see any effect for cigarette.
Lukman tells me his favorite cigarette is the Rothman's King Size.
Thank you, sir.
Apart from calming his nerves whenever he is tensed, Lukman says smoking helps him to think faster and be proactive.
If like me plus somebody have fight with I'm smoking, it can feel cool my heart down. That's why I feel smoking. By smoking no have effect. I do some work we beat my mind. If I'm smoking, my temperature, my heart come down way I do my work. That's why I feel for smoking.
Like many chain smokers, Lukman is unperturbed by this grim warning displayed on every pack of cigarettes he buys.
Smokers die young, but if I smoke cigarettes, I'm not see any effect for smoking.
It has been medically proven that not only smokers are exposed to the dangers of tobacco, but non-smokers who inhale the smoke also suffer the same risk of the smoker, if not more. Dr. Dennis Bote is the medical director at the Health Net Medical Center.
When you are in an environment where people are smoking or somebody is smoking and you hang around that environment for a while, you would invariably inhale the toxins that come from the smoking of these people. The interesting thing is that the person who is smoking takes in a puff, but again, they puff out quite an amount of what they take in. So the passive smoker or the second-hand smoker actually will be inhaling as much as what the person is puffing out, plus what burns from the stick of the cigarette when it's burning. For you who is not a regular smoker, the effect on you is likely to be more damning.
But just like Lukman, many who smoke do not care about the health implications on them or the people around. Smoking in public was outlawed in 2012 under Public Health Act 581. The agency charged with enforcing this law, the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, has over the years failed to go after perpetrators. The authority is, however, now determined to ensure the law is enforced.
FDA continues to monitor facilities, and in monitoring we go to those facilities to see whether they are going according to the law. Anyone who does not go by the part 6 of the law is liable to 750 penalty units, of which one penalty unit is 12 Ghana cedis, or not more than 3 years term of imprisonment. And we also have administrative fine of 25,000 Ghana cedis, of which if anybody offends the law, we use that.
But this caution is not limited to only smokers. The FDA is warning public facility owners to ensure that smokers do not smoke openly at their facilities.
Facilities owners are responsible for enforcing the regulation of the ban on smoking in public places. So in case somebody comes to your facility and the person is smoking, the onus lies on the facility owner to ensure that the person stops smoking.
We'll continually reiterate that smoking is harmful to your health. But let's move on to other matters. And here I say television gets resources. A few weeks ago, we brought you the story of a 17-year-old girl, Adisa Adamu, whose dream was nearly cut short due to the condition she suffers. Now, that has left her out of school for the past 5 years. Adisa's left leg is swollen due to a condition known as neurofibromatosis, and she needs 15,000 Ghana cedis to undergo surgery to correct the defect. Well, her need has been met as the reviewed team, that's with Bola Ray, through the reviewed fund, has presented her with a check of 15,000 Ghana cedis for her to undergo surgery. I'll cite her with more.
17-year-old Adiza Damu dropped out of school at age 11 and in class 5 due to neurofibromatosis, a genetic disorder that causes tumors to form on nerve tissues. Some of Adiza's classmates made fun of her, causing her to drop out of school, leaving her to only stay home to help her mother to prepare porridge, known in the local parlance as Hausa Cocoa, to sell in their community. The condition has left her in so much pain as it is difficult to stand on her feet for long. Her biggest dream growing up was to become a doctor or lawyer, but that dream was nearly being cut short by the genetic condition neurofibromatosis, which can be managed through a surgery that cost 15,000 Ghana cedis.
I'm a doctor. I'm sure Nibi. Mama will join money idea. Me person doctor. I'm sure some calanipi. Me cause I am semi-swimming cause nipi.
To school and call
Adiza's story caught the attention of the producers of the Revealed with Bolare program, which airs on GHOne TV on Sunday evenings. The team, through the Revealed Fund, presented a check for 15,000 cedis to Adiza and her mother to defray bills for the 3-part surgery, which is to be undertaken at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Speaking in an interview with the news team, the PR and admin coordinator at Empire Protocol, producers of the Revealed with Bolare program, Leila Crystal Banda, explained why they chose to support the young girl.
Well, the Revealed Fund was birthed from Revealed with Bolare, which is the television program that we have here on GH1. And what we wanted to do is not only impact and expose our viewers to the content that we air, but also to see how we can be in touch with them and impact their lives. So we set up the fund to kind of come to the aid of any urgent matters that our viewers or our followers may have. So the last one that came in was one of the ones that touched us the most, and that was a case of Adiza. The reason why was because mainly, aside the health implications, her education has been interrupted, and that's something that we're very keen on. So aside, we can look at, we'll support with this amount towards your operation. We'd like to cover the cost of the operation so that it's no more a burden. Then she can focus on her education and getting up to, the standard levels, and then progressing her life really.
Overwhelmed by the kind gesture of the Revealed with Bolare team, mother of the 17-year-old girl, Hajara Zakari, showered praises and blessings onto the team and GH1 News for helping save her child's future.
Review for na swase. Senya me aka omakon no maye adoye enti said ya mamme ene me ba Hadiza. Me da review for nyina ase yankopon shamode ne ebe ye ohaw amane ade amamu bia yankopon pengu mam no mo madwuma enkoso no mo nkwatente ne apomudi ti me da review for nyina ase the GH1 what can be oye gwo bia oye clean no oye din me do mo nyina ase senya me atumi aka omakoma no maboa me se menye me bayi nan mom ne yankopon hira mu onfa mu nkwa akire onhye obia ne sepo mu nsuo ma no shred my phone in a midamas mama meniaji abroso.
17-year-old Adiza, who yearns to join her mates in school soon, was also happy that her dream of being a doctor or lawyer to help the underprivileged will not be cut short by the condition.
If you look good, so my woman, I won't go. I'm a school, I'm a doctor. What can I say?
Neurofibromatosis is not curable, but doctors say growing tumors can be controlled through surgery. GH1 News will follow up with the girl's case until her surgery is finally done. Alice Aite, GH1.
Well, we want to say thank you to this particular team for putting this together. And wherever you are, you can always start somebody else's life by doing something that, will go a long way to either fix a social problem or restore them back to a certain level of progress and development we have in the society. But business is up next, and we have a lot for you in that. Do stay with us.
Business Brief is brought to you by Dusk Capital. We see a millionaire in you. We're looking for you, the next millionaire. We know of your stressful routine. From those 12-hour flights across the Atlantic to your hustle through traffic every day. From burning the midnight oil to that laptop that never sleeps. We know where you are in life, and we know where you want to go. Let us take you there. Thinking investment? Think Dusk Capital. Dusk Capital. We see a millionaire in you.
Henry, what is wrong with you and your laptop? It is not working.
Hey. What at all is going on in this house?
Your son's laptop is not working and my phone.
Me kai me mo fabrim na me ma me de me ko Freddy's corner enti ene eye manager se me di Freddy's corner ho adanse a kire mabusia na ade ba ko a me kai wo Freddy's corner eye se de wo siti wanim ejeji wo customers. Se eba mobile phone, eba laptop papa, camera papa ni PlayStation a Freddy's corner aha ene wo. Se ko ba to mobile phone say, wo camera say, wo laptop say and a PlayStation. Me ha ho kra. Freddy's corner be try you go am. Freddy's corner, your home of authentic mobile phones and accessories.
Now we'll do some regional trade and integration. Our Deputy Finance Minister, Mr. Kweku Kwarteng, has admonished the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to simplify the movement of goods within West Africa. Now, the Deputy Minister believes that sharing data through the use of technology can achieve simplicity while reducing the porosity at the borders. Kweku Kwarteng was speaking at the International Customs Day celebration here in Accra.
The need to combat crime while increasing revenue has made it necessary for customs administration in West Africa to exchange data and information. In Ghana, discussions have been ongoing to connect the country's automated customs management systems with other countries in the West African sub-region. Information shared will particularly border on goods in transit. Speaking at this year's International Customs Day celebration, Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwarteng said the Customs Division should focus on modernizing its operations.
International best practices should be applied in examination of goods while applying modern technology and moving away from intrusive to non-intrusive examination with the introduction of post-clearance auditing and risk management mechanisms. When customs succeed in these practices, there would be an inevitable increase in the volume of international trade with accompanying increase in international investments and technology transfer.
Commissioner General of GRA, Emmanuel Kofi Inti, also urged personnel of the Customs Division to enhance their effort in data analysis in order to ensure effective border management.
It is my hope that you will focus on the role you play as customs officers and how it creates a secure business environment for economic development.
In other business stories, a group calling itself Dynamic Movement of Ghana is at the Supreme Court to challenge what they claim as the questionable $2.25 billion bond issued by the Finance Ministry. Well, although the matter initially investigated by Shraj cleared Mr. Oforiatta, the Finance Minister, of committing any grievous crime. However, they want the Apex Court to put the matter to finality.
If you should look in the 1992 Constitution, it's clearly stated that Shraj does not have the power to prosecute. Findings by Shraj comes out of recommendations, and the recommendations can be taken up by the Attorney General or anybody in good standing, be it a citizen or a society organization, to take the matter to a competent court of jurisdiction. That is why we believe that even though we are taking on the Finance Minister based on Shraj own findings, it will not be fair to do that at the backside of the body that conducted the investigations. So they should also be there. The person they investigated should also be there. We, the party that have an interest in the matter, we will also be there. Since Honorable Ken Oforiatta is a public official, automatically the Attorney General becomes his defendant. So they will also be there, so that all those who have a link to do with this particular bond transaction will all be there, will trash it out based on evidences and responses, and in the wisdom of the judges, they will come out with their ruling on this matter.
Now, bonds don't appear to be going away. On the subject, the Vice Chairman of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Solomon Kote, has lashed governments for its continuous dependence on the issuance of bonds for the payment of energy sector debt. Now, at a press conference in Tema, he called on the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to seek alternative methods in addressing the energy sector debt as interest payments and management fees continue to burden the ordinary taxpayer.
The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers also called on government to immediately scale down on some of the taxes choking the current price build-ups in petroleum products.
At the time that this tax was introduced, that was when we saw the loss of all oil pricing in the world market as low as $28 per barrel, dropping from $120 to that point. We saw the disturbance it created in the then government's budget, the revenue element. So they needed some cushioning. That was the beginning of this special petroleum tax. Now what we are saying, the absence of the pricing is coming again. Government is dealing oil. The absence of the pricing is getting an advantage from there. So why do we still keep it?
COPEC equally had some concerns about Ghana's excessive borrowing on the bond market to pay off the energy sector debts.
The last bond issuance is known to have cost the taxpayer something in excess of 180 million Ghana cedis in management fees alone, together with a coupon rate almost 20%, which translates to some addition $500 million from the $2.5 billion being sought for. This development must be carefully scrutinized, as the acts on will only compound the issue for the poor Ghanaian worker and the generality.
Well, management of the economy definitely is no child's play, but that brings us to the end of business.
Business Brief was brought to you by
Dusk Capital. We see a millionaire in you.
Well, up next is GHOne, and here Group Bookback celebrated its 20 years on Thursday. While the group is no longer in existence, tonight we take you down memory lane on some of their hit tracks.
Other musicians tried their luck with Ga lyrics. They brought life to it. Bookback took the industry by storm with its combination of Chi, English and Ga, which at the time had not succeeded very well in the industry. The group remained one of the solid teams in hip life until they went solo in 2006. However, they were able to trust their differences and reunited in 2012 to record what turned out to be their last album. Kolom was a major hit track of the Fisherman album. The track made its way to charts, DJ mixes, party lists, etc. The group was originally started by a lot more members, some of whom left to pursue other ventures. Out of the group also came Hip Life Group 4x4, who might also be doing solo projects now. Unfortunately, the group came to an end in 2013 after the death of one member, Ronnie Coach's Kwenu. Regardless, their music continued to remain relevant.
A group I loved back in the days.
Kolom.
That's the only one.
Kolom. Anyway, that's all we have for you for the evening. My name is Patrick Stevenson.
Mine is Kwekutemin. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Well, tonight we're going to celebrate Francisca Ahin, who's been nominated for the Impaired Award.